online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Let's see how this goes, man. I'm trying to remember this.
Why you rewound it?
Okay, all right. Go, Jesse.
I ain't even trying to vocally compete with the queen.
Full moon. Brandy Full Moon. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8th wonder of the world. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the... You remember that? The flow of the century. No, welcome to the Zoe Ever After show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I am your host, Joshua Johnson. You can find me on social media at JJ the Talented. And as always, I am joined by Mr. DJ Jesse Janedy.
Boom! Y'all can hit me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
Yay. And be sure and follow AFTERBUZZ TV on all social media. Make sure you use the hashtag ABTVZEA as you keep the conversation going. And since we provide this content free for you guys without any strings attached, we just ask that you just rate, comment, subscribe, download. Don't forget you can download the podcast of these episodes on iTunes Podcast. Just search AFTERBUZZ TV. You can find the content on AFTERBUZZTV.com and also YouTube.com, searching AFTERBUZZ TV. So make sure you go and do that and share the love. Let's get right into the episode 5.
Boom.
Ghosting. I gotta talk to you about this. It was
called Ghosting?
No, it was called like Zoe and was it Zoe and the Ghost or Zoe and Ghost?
I didn't see what the title was. I was too excited to click play.
But I wanted to ask you about this, Jesse. So in the beginning of the episode, beginning of the episode, Mr. Shoulda Coulda Woulda from last week, Steven, the old college flame, he I guess he's trying to avoid.
They got back to that storyline real quick,
right?
Like,
but he's not in the episode. They just kind of allude to him, and he's trying to avoid Zoe by ghosting. And I want to ask you, man, what do you think about this? Is this a good way to end a relationship or communicate to the other party that you're just not interested anymore? Because I, for one...
I love that this has become our, like, venting session.
I, for one... I'm one of those people who, like, I tend to avoid confrontations that, you know, I pick and choose my battles.
I see that.
So if I'm trying to end a relationship or just kind of say, you know what, I'm just not feeling you anymore, I tend to do a little ghosting. I'll just back off. You might call, you might text.
Shame.
And I'll just, I won't respond. But is there anything wrong with that?
I mean, it depends on the situation. Like, if you're talking to someone and you've been talking to them for, like, okay, give me an example. Like... anything over...
What's the time? What's the threshold?
I mean, it really depends, because, I mean, you could talk to someone every day for a month, and then it's like, if you just ghost out on that, then it's like, you have issues.
Yeah, now that's weird.
But if it's like, you know what I mean, you guys went on, like, a date 1 week, maybe met up the next week, and then it was like, by the 3rd week...
and that's okay?
I mean, as long as you're cool with yourself and that, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's something, I don't know, I'm like just kind of more an upfront person, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, look, this isn't really working out for me.
So you're open and honest. You'll just be like, hey, it's not working out, but, best of luck to you. Good luck in the future.
Or I'm not interested in a relationship right now, or...
even after, let's say, 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks, you've texted, you've talked, you've gone out 2 to 3 times.
And then you just ghost? I mean, it's rude. Like, you're a dick. Like, that puts a thing on you. But it's like, it depends. Like, if you know you're never going to deal with this person ever again in life, it really kind of doesn't matter. I mean, unless you kind of feel like, well, you know what? I don't want to be a dick. Like, look, I'm just not into the situation right now. And you got to figure out why you're not into the situation. Is it really this person, or is it something within you? Like, right now, commitment, me, like... I can't, because if you're just going on a date with a person, like, that doesn't mean marriage. It doesn't mean you're in a relationship. So what are you ghosting from?
Right. But I mean, what if? Okay, let's say it's been.
Okay, but let's talk about this situation with Zoe and Steven.
All right.
Because
I'm gonna be carried away.
I mean, we can get back to that. But the thing is like with this situation, it's like the way they were talking. and he was like bigging it up, and like bigging the situation up. It was just
kind
of
like,
like
to be with her.
He said he wanted to be with her, but if you really want to be with somebody, do you just ghost?
No.
You know what I mean? But at the same time,
no.
you know this situation comes with a lot of baggage. But that's something I think he should have been upfront with, like, yo, you know what? Like, after Gemini popping up at your house like that, but clearly he has no respect for her, doesn't really care about her emotions or feelings, so it's like, bye, Steven. Hence why he won't be written into the storyline any longer.
That would have been easy to do, though. Like, you could just say, hey, I wasn't comfortable with Gemini.
Well, is it easy to do? Well, it's not easy for you.
In that situation, it would have been easy.
But it's not for you, so why is that so hard for Steven? Listen,
but in some cases...
No, but JJ, why is it so hard for Steven?
For Steven? I don't know. I'm not Steven. I'm saying in my particular scenarios that I'm thinking of in my head, sometimes you just don't want to... You don't want to be mean to... Let's say something turns you off about that person. You don't want to say, hey, this is why I don't want to be having anything to do with you anymore.
You're rude, because what you need to be doing is telling these bitches you just want Netflix and chill. Instead, you doing Netflix chill. You see the way she eating her damn Frito-Lay, and
you're right. You know what I've learned is that honesty, after all, is the best policy, because if you're just honest, you still might be able to get what you want.
But see, like, you have like this good boy thing about you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I could totally see a girl being like, oh my, or I could totally see you putting it on a girl, like your Mac play is like, hey, I'm JJ, like, yo, like, and all the
figured out already.
You know what I mean? And the girls, and you have the girls feeling like, oh my god, he's like the sweetest guy ever. And then here you are, Netflix and chilling, and she thinks like, oh my god, we're watching part 1 to Planet Earth. Like, I cannot. JJ's got me up in here watching Planet Earth, and then she don't never get to watch their series because you ghosted.
I would do that.
You know what I mean?
I would do that in a minute.
So I just look at it like it really depends on the situation.
I think it depends on how you met.
Well, that too. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
met online and then you get ghosted online. It's not as big of a deal as if you've like known and interacted with someone.
Speaking of experience,
yeah,
right,
but
James?
still, there's a time threshold, like Jesse was saying. Like, if you met online and you've known each other for 3 months, you don't just stop communication. You don't ghost.
I mean, yeah.
Even if you met online, right?
It really all depends on the person. Clearly, Steven does not care about Zoe's feelings, Zoe's emotions, and you can take that into your own personal life and figure out what
I'll
that
do that.
means for
I mean,
yourself.
I get something from our conversations every episode.
There
So,
you go.
I'll do that. But I tend
Words
to
with
ghost.
Jesse.
I tend to ghost.
What have I tainted this after show? Let's go. What is
Well, listen, so they go to Atlantic City.
Which, I gotta say this. I don't know what casinos do to people, but every time I go to a casino, my intent is to be another person. I always put on an English accent at a casino.
I was going to ask you that.
And it lasts my first drink. It actually, I mean, it lasts like me walking to, like, what do they fucking call it? A slot machine.
Yeah.
And then I'm done. Like,
You're
I
done?
forget that I'm even doing it.
So you've never kept it up for an extended period of time?
No,
for the
because
whole
I'm
visit to Vegas, Atlantic City, or wherever you are?
Mohegan Sun.
Wait, where's Mohegan Sun? Is that Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Okay.
Foxwoods too.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know what it is. But when you step into a casino, I have this thing of like, I just want, all of a sudden I want to be from England. And I just want to talk like this to everyone I meet. And it comes out of my head because I end up getting sloshed.
Do you want to be someone else?
I don't want to be, but when I go to casinos, I do, because I just feel like, I don't know, I'm never going to bump into anybody here. And why not just fuck with people? You know what I mean?
That's very interesting. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, there's no other
practice.
play game to that. It's just me being stupid.
That's
you know what I
you.
mean? So it really made me feel like, hey, I'm not the only person that does this out here. Zoe goes to Atlantic City.
Definitely not.
And puts a front on.
I wish I could. If I was good at accents, I would do it. I have pretended to be, or created a scenario. Let me give an example. So I was out with a girl, and we were at a restaurant. We had brunch, and we were waiting to be seated. And an older lady comes by, and she comments about us, and she asks if we're married, if we have kids. Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, she commented. She commented about the interracial nature of our relationship, right? And so I just made up. She asked questions about if we were married, if we had kids, and I just went along with it and said, yes, we've been married for 7 years, we have 3 kids, and I just went on from there with the whole storyline.
And then the girl ghosted you?
No, she didn't. She did not ghost me. She started castle building. Actually, you know what castle building is?
Building onto the situation.
Yeah, no, but like women, they do this thing called castle building, where they build scenarios in their head and they just start like fantasizing about their future.
So, but you built the concrete to this castle.
Yeah, I built the foundation. And then from there, you know, she was like, oh, wow, this must be something that is going to last for her. But it didn't.
You know, these talks are starting to make me feel a certain type of way about you, but that's fine. So, Stella St. James, Lolita Bombay, and D to the Lente. V to the Lente.
Yep. They go to Atlantic City.
I love Pearl. I just love her. This was my favorite episode of Pearl.
Curly-headed Pearl or straight-haired Pearl?
I like both Pearls.
Yeah.
But Pearl tonight, with her whole, she let loose. She had her drink. She was about to get her some.
She did.
She gagged when she had that accent on, and they had that accent.
And no talk about the wedding, the wedding date. Like, that was not a part of this episode.
I felt like she really was like, I really liked that they all went to Atlantic City saying, hey, I'm going to let go. Even though, to me, Pearl was the only one that actually kind of let go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved her. I think she's hilarious on the show. I think she's one of my favorite characters by far.
So she's cool, and we hope to actually, you know, I can't make any promises. We want Pearl on the show. Hanifa Wood plays Pearl. Did you see the Grease Live this past weekend?
Yeah.
She was on that. She played Blanche.
Oh, the secretary at the school.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I just didn't like that she had to hold.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know.
Is that like a throwback to the original? I didn't see Grease. That was my first time seeing Grease.
Really?
Ever.
I'm sorry.
Was that live version? But I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
but
she
played Blanche in Grease. Hanifa, if you're watching, we want you to come in. Please be a guest on our show.
Yes.
We're gonna get you in here, one way or another. We're begging and pleading, as Brandy's song goes. Yeah. Shout out to you.
Good one. Plug. Check it out on iTunes.
Plug. Yeah, check out iTunes, SoundCloud. Brandy, you owe me for that one. No, but yeah. So Pearl was in there, and gosh, what was I gonna say about Pearl? Oh, I was gonna say. So remember last week, my prediction was that Pearl and Valente were gonna hook up.
Yep.
They halfway did.
Yep, they did.
Right? They shared a kiss. They pretended to be a couple, all because Valente's college teammate, football teammate.
Yep.
Shows up in the casino.
And then Jerome was in the house.
And Jerome was in the house. He comes out like
bam.
Not the regular Valente we're used to seeing.
He transformed Autobot.
Transformed to a straight guy. Yeah.
Well, no, we call that trade.
We call it what?
Trade.
Trade?
Trade. It's when like a gay guy gives that masculine roughness.
Wait, is that a verb? Is that a noun? What is it? Use it in a sentence.
Ooh, he's trade.
Okay. Speaking of pretending, is this something you've done before?
No.
No?
Here's my thing. I laugh at this. I've always spoken with my tone of voice. I don't know. I call it transforming. I call them Autobots. There's Autobots and there's Decepticons. Okay. So the thing is with Decepticons.
Break it down.
So the Decepticons, these are people who they act on because they think it makes them, what's the word? I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to like, they put the act on because it makes them feel like people will respect them more in certain situations. But then there are other people who, like the Autobots, like my roommate does it. It's like almost like a habit, like because in high school, growing up, he would have to like pretend, switch his voices around and be more masculine around friends versus family. And I can say, growing up, I probably did certain actions too. I just was really crazy altogether. I think I've tamed myself down, to be quite honest.
This is the tame Jesse?
Yeah, I was really crazy in high school.
We need that yearbook.
Yeah, I was most adventurous actually, but I see it with a lot of people. I laugh at my roommate all the time because he'll pick up the phone. It could be like the water company calling, be like, hello. But mind you, he be all over the motherfucking place like, hello.
So that's an Autobot.
That's an Autobot because it's like,
it's automatic.
He don't even know that it happens, and I point it out, and he'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even recognize that I was doing that. But then there really be dudes out here, and these are Decepticons, where they be like trying to hook up with you. Like, I call my roommate a Decepticon when he be trying to talk to other gay men, and be putting on like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, how long is that's only going to last for a Netflix and chill night? Like, that's no relationship is coming out of that, because guess what? Once you come out the damn box, you know what I mean?
You've already started on unalive, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's the difference between Autobots and Decepticon, and you can easily switch into both places. But Autobots can happen because growing up gay, you gotta. It becomes a piece of you. You know what I mean? You have to be able to switch it on and off. I mean, I see it more so with older people because it wasn't really like when I grew up, it wasn't accepted at all.
Right.
So in high school, now it's kind of accepted, so I don't really see it too much. But I do check it with some of my friends that it is quite funny. So with this situation, it was hilarious because I talked to my roommate about it. We laugh about it all the time.
What about the guy from a couple episodes ago that Pearl and Valente were both seeing? What would he be? Do you remember that?
Oh wait, that was the week I wasn't here.
Shit.
Damn.
That was weak. So Pearl and Valente.
So wait, he was bisexual?
Yeah, they did the same guy.
I mean, did he change his personality? He was probably just bisexual.
No, he didn't. So
yeah, he's just bisexual.
Just bisexual. Okay. So Autobot.
It's more of something like
doesn't
if you're
apply.
not like we saw with
personality
Valente, he wasn't comfortable with himself in high school. So he, you know what I mean? He was this person that he was being for everybody else. And then when he finally got to go away, it was like, oh, see, like for me, I would say my thing is like I talk about gay things more because now that I'm not that little kid in high school, I can like openly be like, yeah, like I fuck guys.
Yeah, you can be open about it.
You know what I mean? We're in high school, I wouldn't be able to say that. It was more like, people are like, oh, who do you fuck? I'd be like, I want to go play track. Like, let's go running.
Right, I get it.
Like, there was none of that.
I get it.
So, I mean, with this situation, he's a little too grown to kind of have gone back into that place.
A little bit.
Because I'm assuming he's like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. But we find out a little bit more about him, that he played college football. Mm-hmm. He's from Texas, which is something that I would have never guessed. We would have never guessed, right? But, it comes out that he's, an athlete.
Why not? Gay people can't play football.
That's true. That's true. But I just wouldn't have figured, I wouldn't have figured that Valente played college football. For Texas. I mean, it's Texas, right?
True. I mean, I don't know. I'm saying true like I even know what any of that means.
Yeah.
Are they good at football?
Yeah. They got a decent football team. Well, I mean, not this past year.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
Next.
We'll move on. But okay. So then,
like, I would have to pretend I liked watching sports when I was young, even though
no
I really
sports like whatsoever.
I can't. I love playing sports, but I cannot stand watching.
I was gonna say you seem like you'd be an athlete.
Yeah, I play them.
You play
my
them,
calves are on point, but I can't. Like, I'd be at the table with my grandmother and my mom, eating, talking shit about the family members while the game was on.
While they're watching the game.
So I guess that's my Decepticon.
So speaking of game, Miguel shows up and tries to put a little game on Zoe. Well, not really.
I loved it.
Yeah, but when he showed up, I thought he was like a spy for Gemini, but he wasn't. He was there for a bachelor party. Gets a little bit closer to Brandy. Not close in like the sense that they're gonna sleep together yet.
I think it was.
Yeah, in Atlantic City.
Well, no, I don't think they slept in Atlantic City, but I felt like this was.
No, this is the foundation. The foundation.
Magic. Well, let's not use that word anymore.
Are you referring to comments that we got?
I'm referring to your comments earlier.
Oh, okay. But this is
because I want this situation to work. I don't want it to be that castle building situation.
The base layer has been laid. Mm-hmm. How's that?
Yeah.
For what?
But see, Miguel look like he a man of his word. So if he starts to build a castle, he gonna finish the castle.
It was just a fun situation. Kidding. I wasn't. It's not something I do all the time. That was the one and only time I've ever, played like I was someone. Well, probably. Not.
He said, "Why is Zoe a bitch?"
Yeah. Oh, so Zoe had the accent too, and while she was in her character, he was in his. Why is Zoe a bitch? Well, Zoe kind of said, "Well, it's because it's been hard. I divorced after 20 years. I'm a single mom now. Started my own business. It's harder than I thought." Yeah, sounds pretty rough.
Loved it. Honest.
Yeah.
Honest
and open.
And I think this is something that a lot of girls can relate to, or just people. I mean, just imagine being in I was in a 2-year relationship, and I was like, you know what I mean? So imagine a 20-year, you got a kid attached to you. And I was watching The View today, and they was talking about how mothers, like when you have a child, and I never even thought of it like this, but when you have a child, everyone makes it all about the baby. So women go through this thing of who am I'm less than. And then on top of it, they were talking about how celebrity moms, like, imagine being married to someone famous. Everything's about the man. Then when you have a baby, everything's about the baby. Now everything's about the it's never about the mom.
Never about you. Yeah.
So imagine Zoe in this situation now. You know, that's why I want this show to really hit those points and not, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't even get like a real conclusion to Atlantic City. Like, I would really like the show to really kind of delve into it a little deeper than it is.
It's hard. It's 30 minutes.
I know.
It's kind of hard to get in there and get.
But we could have
deep.
stayed in Atlantic City
for the
rest of the
whole
episode,
right?
I would have been with it.
Yeah, because it was a weird kind of cut straight to back to the office and leaving some things
I wanted to see
open-ended.
Jerome go hang out with those boys. Now, the funniest situation would have been...
What?
I need to write for this show. The funniest situation would have been if he went to go hang out with the boys and then find out that they were gay.
Right.
And then he's putting this act on, but then he really want to hang out with the gay boys.
Right.
All his life... That would have been hilarious.
That would have been hilarious. We didn't watch the episode. Well, I saw the episode before you did.
Mm-hmm.
But when I watched it, I thought of that same thing. That it would be funny if that were to happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just think... I would like them to go there. I mean, they go there with certain jokes and they go there with certain ideas. I really would like the show to kind of just take a deeper look into the topics that they're talking about, because I think it's Brandy, so this is really a platform for her to be able to showcase everything to her fans. And I don't know. I think they're doing a great job, but I want them to really go there.
Yeah, they probably want to still keep it light. 30 minutes, it's a comedy. I mean, that's a fair point.
Because they're getting a lot of stuff through the episode. I mean, we almost done. We ain't even talking about Xavier.
We didn't talk about Xavier yet. So Xavier had somewhat of a date, but really kind of just a homework assignment, science project with a girl from class. And he likes his girl from class. And while they're working on their project, hustle woman, hungry woman, angry woman from the fifth floor, aka Jessica White, shows up again. And you were right, you nailed it. That she's the recurring punchline every episode. Yep. She just shows up out of nowhere.
I love it.
Even Gemini was like, "Where'd you come from?"
I love that it's a woman. I love that she's sexy. I love that she is just like always Jessica. She never steps out of that character.
Why is she such a bitch?
Her hair was everything.
Why?
Because she's a supermodel. She's playing up every superficial thing you could ever think of a supermodel, and that's what she's playing up. She came out naked in a towel when Gemini's there. Like,
do you want me to leave this towel?
Right.
What was the line? Was that something like that?
Yeah. Do you want me to leave this towel?
Yeah.
He said yes, Gemini. But this is the thing. I got to say, Gemini actually, this episode, I liked seeing him with the sun. I thought that made me like Gemini a little more.
A little bit, right? Because when I've seen him with his son in any of the episodes, he does. It's you can tell he cares about his son.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not the Gemini that you want to hate, punch in the face, the lying, cheating Gemini. He's the Gemini that I can see this guy really cares for his son.
What did you think about the advice given in the show? Man up so girls like you.
I think I missed that.
Of course you did.
Wait, when was that advice?
When the son said, "How do I get girls to like me?" He said, "You got to man up."
Oh no, that's true. Yeah, no, I agree.
What
with that.
about when Jessica said, "You got to be comfortable with yourself"?
That's definitely true.
Especially when you can't afford a car.
Yeah, because girls can pick up on, for the most part, when you're not being sincere, when you're not being genuine, when you're not being yourself. I think so. Definitely.
So then you just
man up,
ghost.
be yourself. Be honest. I'm learning. I'm serious. I'm learning that just if you're honest in the beginning, you can really get everything you want, even if your intentions were wrong in the beginning. Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
I love that Jessica checked the little girl.
Yeah, I like that, but before that, when she was like, what'd she say? Oh, he likes blonde girls, or something like that, right? What was a little joke about it?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
and she
of
said
course.
figure.
Yeah, figures, and then
you said the same thing.
No, Gemini was like, yeah, figures, private school, because I remember private school growing up. I went to private school, and most of the time in private school, I was the only black kid, and as the only one, you get a lot of attention from blonde girls.
Yeah.
And all kinds of girls. But yeah, so that was funny to me.
I can just imagine.
But yeah, and then she checked the little girl.
She checked the little girl, and the little girl was amazed by her and sealed the deal.
And that was it. Yeah. Then they're going to work on the next homework project together.
Boom.
Oh no, it was a good episode. I like.
She needed to get checked talking about. I should have worked with what's his name.
Whatever the name. Yeah, what was that?
Okay, you little science.
Right. So yeah, and then but we missed it. We didn't really miss it, but the part where Valente and Pearl did kiss.
It did look like a very passionate kiss.
It was a good kiss.
It was a very good kiss. Yeah. I mean, her leg went up.
All the way up. Mm-hmm. And
I actually, they could have kept this in Atlantic City and so much could have happened. They could have gotten drunk. He could have not hooked up with any of the gay friends and then ended up the next morning, him and Pearl in bed together.
In bed. That's what I was thinking was going to happen.
And then they had to keep it a secret from Zoe.
They could have gone so far with this. I don't know why they didn't just push it, with the plumber convention, this whole
oh my God,
Pearl and Valente.
So funny.
They should have gone that far. But yeah, I think it's time for some predictions.
Boom.
Yep.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I mean, they didn't really show us anything, so
They didn't show anything coming up. But look, I'm riding with the same prediction. It's gonna happen. It's a matter of time now.
Miguel.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
End of story.
That's it.
The prediction.
That's it. What else can we do? Yeah.
Boom. We can end the show.
Yeah, Miguel and Zoe is going to happen. If you think so and agree as well, make sure you comment. Use the hashtag ABTVZA. Keep the conversation going. What do you think about ghosting?
Or castle building.
That's not something I made up. Someone actually taught me that term.
I'm sure they did.
What do you think about castle
I'm sure
building?
You were taught lots of things in private school. With all the white girls.
Yeah. Well, that's another episode.
Big Daddy.
And I played basketball.
I'm sure you did.
And I sang in our weekly chapels.
If you wanna be somebody.
So you got something to say about that. Make sure you comment and rate and subscribe and download. And once again,
see that ladies, he sings, he plays sports.
Oh yeah, definitely. I play instruments too.
And he plays
That's
Netflix
why I'm JJ the
chill.
Talented. Come on. So if you want to know more about me, follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter at JJ the Talented. And if you want to know more about Jesse,
boom. I'm on Snapchat right now. You can hit me up at the Greek God. God spelled with a 0. It's a little blasphemous. I'm going to change it. And you guys can hit me up everywhere else at DJ Jesse J.
And if you want to know more about AfterBuzz, make sure you hit up AfterBuzz TV on social media and the website and YouTube and the Apple iTunes podcast. We will see you next week with the newest episode of Zoe Ever After.
Bye.
See.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.